Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to set up the costs for work and material resources. When you fill in the cost fields or for work and material resources, project uses them to calculate the project costs. The labor cost for an assignment is the assigned work resources cost rate multiplied by the amount of time assigned. For material resources, the cost is the rate multiplied by quantity assigned. So let's go to the resources sheet here. We can see here that the owner is assigned the $0 per hour as a standard rate assigned. So we will have to add the 1. Say for example here, the flooring contractor is also assigned the standard rate of $0 per hour. So let's add the 1 here. Let's make it to 60 hours. You can see that we type 60 and press enter. You can see that the project automatically adds the slash in the hour. But you can actually assign the resources by the other time periods as well. Let's say that the drywall contractor is a contractor and you actually pay him $1,000 a month to maintain the wall. So in the standard rate cell, type 1000 per MON will be for the month to calculate how much the drywall contractor costs. For the material resource like the tiles at the end, the standard rate is the cost per unit. So in this case, it's $55. The unit is in the material label field, that is the bundle. Well, let's see how this works. So go to the task tab to the Gantt chart view. We will also require the details tab. So we'll click on the details pane, the checkbox for the details pane to appear. I'm going to right click here in this box and say resource and successors. So here we have the resource and successors. So we can see the assignments and scroll down to the bottom of the schedule and choose to select the tile entry kitchen and bath. Here you see that the flooring contractor is assigned to the carpet first floor for 24 hours. In the addition, the tiles is also assigned to the carpet first floor, and in this case it's 1 bundle. So let's make this to 4 and then I will click on OK. Now we can see that the project fills in the label, so the quantity changes, but the project takes the label from the resource sheet and fills this in. Let's go to the resource sheet. Now let's look at how the costs work. So I right click to choose the costs. Well, the flooring contractor is assigned for 24 hours and the cost will be $1,440 as a total cost. The tiles is assigned as $55 a case and there are 4 bundles assigned to this task. So the cost will be $220. Let's go back to the resource sheet and take a look at some of the other cost fields. So first I'll turn off the details pane here and go back to the resource sheet. You can see that the next column after the standard rate is the overtime rate only applies to the work resources because you assign them by time, and in fact the only time you have to fill in the overtime rate is if somebody is paid extra when they work overtime hours. So for example, if somebody is paid $80 an hour and it doesn't matter how many hours they work in a week, then the standard rate is enough because project will multiply the standard rate by every single hour you assign and you are all set. But if that resource charges extra for overtime, you'll have to designate overtime hours and then project will multiply those hours by the overtime rate. The next field is the cost per use. Now that's something that occurs once every time you assign a resource to a task. So for example, with the electric contractor, 450 charge every time you bring the electric contractor on the site, or maybe with the tiles for the open house, there is a $150 setup charge for setting up the power. So you type 150 in the cost per use as the cost per unit. That way, when you assign the tiles to a task, in addition to the standard rate times the quantity of the cases, you will also have $150 charge for the setup. The final cost field is accrue. You can see that the project fills in the prorated, and that means that the cost is spread over the duration of the task. But in some cases you might want to have it at the beginning of or the end. So for example, with airfare you pay for that upfront, so you can click the down arrow and choose start. Or maybe for the electric contractor is a contractor, so you pay the contractor at the end. By filling in the resources cost fields, you tell the project how much work and material resources cost. That way the program can calculate the costs when you assign these types of resources to the task. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you.